Welcome to Leigh Dickey TV. Hit subscribe to follow along with the fun. Now let's get on to today's video. How I would write out Mark Harmon and promote Sean Murray to lead NCIS. I tell you how, next. Alright, so how I would write out Mark Harmon and promote Sean Murray to lead NCIS. Now, Mark Harmon is perhaps best known for playing the role of Leroy Jethro Gibbs, the senior special agent in charge of the original NCIS, which in and of itself is a spin-off of Judge Advocate General, aka JAG, which starred David James Elliott and Catherine Bell. Now, NCIS was just renewed for a 19th season, and not much is known of how much Mark Harmon and the Gibbs character will be around for, albeit perhaps they, at the end of last season, season 18, set up something where Mark Harmon could appear at least part-time. Because I think if Mark Harmon doesn't renew his contract with the show to star in it, at the very least, then bye-bye NCIS, CBS would probably cancel the show. So Mark Harmon re-upped and the show was renewed. At least to my knowledge, that's how that whole relationship works. Mark Harmon renews, the show gets renewed. If he doesn't, it will probably go the way of NCIS New Orleans, which was just canceled after 7 seasons with CBS. So I'm assuming that if Mark Harmon doesn't renew his contract, albeit even for just a part-time basis, NCIS itself would just get canceled outright anyhow. But in terms of how I would write out Mark Harmon and the Gibbs character and promote Sean Murray and his Timothy McGee character to lead NCIS into the future, I tell you all that coming up. When it comes to how I would promote the Timothy McGee character and Sean Murray to lead NCIS, now that all hinges on whether or not CBS wants to renew NCIS for season 20 without Mark Harmon. I don't see that happening, but one could imagine, one could dream, one could just sort of stretch. Like, what if CBS renewed NCIS for season 20 without Mark Harmon, if he didn't want to come back, if he didn't want to return to the Gibbs role? Now, I think that's why season 19 was renewed, is because Mark Harmon decided to return to the Gibbs role, albeit maybe in a part-time capacity, but at least he's going to be there. So I think without Mark Harmon, there is no NCIS, because he is sort of that de facto lead, that de facto face that everybody thinks of when they think of the original NCIS, or maybe even the franchise as a whole. But in terms of promoting Sean Murray's Timothy McGee to lead the NCIS team, it goes as follows. Like, I would have McGee come back, Sean Murray, obviously. You have Torres coming back, Wilmer Valderrama, and everybody else. You have Jimmy Palmer, Brian Dietzen, Dave McCallum, who's Ducky, the medical examining team, and everybody else. Deanna, is it Reasonover? She's pretty much in the Abby role, right? The Polly Perrette role that Polly Perrette left, I think, after season 15 or something like that. And you have everybody else come back aside from Gibbs. Everybody else appears in that first episode of season, say, 19 or 20, even though, like, Mark Harmon's coming back for season 19. So whatever season that Mark Harmon doesn't come back for, right, and the CBS decides to renew NCIS, you have everybody else return except for Mark Harmon, right, and the Gibbs character. And I would want, McGee, Torres, and pretty much all the agents. You have Gary Cole coming in next year as a series regular. Katrina Law was upped from a recurring capacity because she joined at the end of season 18, and she's coming in as a regular for season 19. So I would have Katrina Law come back, Gary Cole come back, Torres, Wilmer Valderrama, obviously Sean Murray, Timothy McGee, and any other agents they have coming in except for Mark Harmon. So I would have all the agents who are going to be on with the cast as main characters for whatever season Mark Harmon decides to depart the show. So let's say season 20, given that Gary Cole and Katrina Law re-up following season 19. So you have Sean Murray, Wilmer Valderrama, Gary Cole, Katrina Law, and I'd have, say, like, Dave McCallum Brian Dietzen and Deanna Reason over there as well, just in the squad room, because like giant team meeting, and just have them like, hey, it's good to be back, good to see you, how was your break, and whatever, what have you. And then have somebody, it doesn't matter who it is to me, just have somebody bring up, hey, has anybody heard or seen Gibbs? You know, oh, I guess we're just waiting on him because we, you know, got work to do and all that stuff. You're getting back into the swing of things. And just have everybody like sitting around the desks or standing around and have a few minutes go by with no Mark Harmon, no Gibbs showing up. And I wonder what's going on with Gibbs, you know what I mean? Like, there's nothing. There's no sign of him. There's no word from him. Nobody's heard from him at all. So then I would cut to a shot of Sean Murray's Timothy McGee, who's sitting at his desk, just setting things up, and he opens up his desk drawer, and he finds a letter, right? And he pulls it out, and it's addressed to him. It's Tim or McGee. So he opens it, and he reads it. So in terms of what this letter would say, this is where that Mark Harmon voiceover would come in, where it would just say, Tim, it's been quite the ride. It's been quite the journey. Thanks, but this team is yours now. Lead them well. Do me proud. I know you will. And remember my rule. You don't waste good. And you are good. And it's at that point where I'd have the camera cut to a shot of Sean Murray and Timothy McGee's face, have him looked a bit bewildered and confused, like excited but a bit confused, scared all at the same time, and also have him sort of shedding a tear slightly and on the verge of, you know, breaking down and even crying. Because I think that would just lend to the emotion of, you know, Gibbs isn't coming back, Harmon's no longer with the show, and it's now, you know, in the hands of Sean Murray and the team, right? It's in the hands of Sean Murray because he's been there. Like I said, I think he had a recurring role. The Timothy McGee character was recurring in season 1, but he's been on the main cast since season 2. So he's been there the longest and he's got the most tenure. So I figure, hey, you're the sort of the next in line. You're the de facto leader. You're the natural fit to this role, and have him just be like, I'm scared. I don't know what to do. But, you know, in actuality, McGee and Sean Murray know exactly what to do, just because, you know, you've learned under somebody like Mark Harmon's Gibbs, and what better sort of learning tree, I guess, in the NCIS lore than the Gibbs character. So that would just be the perfect fit to have McGee bumped into that senior special agent in charge role, if you will, but have him sort of confused, bewildered, excited, nervous, and have him shedding a tear and all breaking down at the same time. It's at this point where I would have, you know, a cut back to, say, a shot of everybody in the squad room, if you will, and all the cast members and agents, you know, asking McGee or Sean Murray, hey, what's going on? Is everything okay? And he's just like, yeah, everything's fine, no problems, nothing to worry about. And then have Rocky Carroll, who plays Leon Vance, come out of sort of his office down into, say, that squad room, and then just have him sort of yell at Sean Murray and Timothy McGee from the stairs, like, McGee, my office. And then just have McGee sort of like startled come up, get up from his desk, walk up with Vance and Rocky Carroll into the office, and just, you know, have them sort of face off with Vance at his desk and Murray, like McGee, just standing there like, sir, what is this? I don't understand. And, you know, Vance just ask him, like, you get that letter? Yeah. You read it? Yeah. Give me your badge. Right? And it's just have McGee hand over his sort of agent badge and then give it to Vance, and then have him get sworn in right then and there, and then just have Vance present him with sort of that a new badge, or that senior special agent in charge badge, if you will, if there is such a thing. Have him present Sean Murray, the Timothy McGee character, with a new badge, and say, go to work, you know what to do. Yes, sir. have Murray, Timothy McGee walk out of the office, have the director just have a smile on his face. So have Rocky Carroll's Leon Vance just smiling, right, as McGee walks out of the office. Now, as the special agent in charge, have him walk down to the squad room floor and then have everybody go, all good? And then just go, yeah, all good. So what do we do now? We got work to do. Let's go. Boom. Okay. Now, this is the point where I'd have that photographic sound effect and the intro come up all at once, because I don't want this to just come up cold like they normally do. They come up cold and you launch into the episode, but I have that as the first act in the episode, have McGee get promoted, and then, you launch into, yeah, we're all good, and then just gotta go to work. And then you have, that 3 photograph sound effect launch right into the intro, and then coming off the intro, you launch right into the episode, into the main body of, say, the case that they're working on for that particular day. Alright, so there you go, how I would write out Mark Harmon and promote Sean Murray to lead NCIS. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please comment, like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. Leave us a 5-star rating and review on your favorite podcast app and player of choice for the Beats and Speaks podcast and Yo Nostalgia. Again, thanks for watching. I've been Leigh Dickey. This wraps up another video. Please comment, like, share, and subscribe for more episodes like this, and we will see you later. Alright, talk to you soon. Take care. Peace. Thanks for tuning in to Leigh Dickey TV. New episodes are available every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Subscribe to follow along with the fun.